welcome to the Hank Cisco show. Don't touch that remote. Got a great show. In fact, I got two shows today, but you're going to see one at a time. My first show. And this show is going to be all about Norristown, Pennsylvania. And a lot of good things are happening in Norristown. And this is only the beginning. But I was so happy to hear that something big, something good is going to happen in Norristown. And I says, I want to bring it onto my show today. And it turns out to be one of my best friends I've known for years. And so my guest today, before I take up too much time, is Dave SERENY. Where you got that name, I don't know, Dave SERENY. But he is the kind of guy that loves Norristown, invests in Norristown, and so we're going to talk about Norristown. So make a phone call, call your uncle, your aunt, your gumbadi, your gummadis and gumbadis, whoever else. Okay, ready? Here we go. Dave SERENY.
Good to see you today,
All right.
Rob. How you doing, buddy?
Now, before we even show this, we'll talk about this. You live in Norristown, right? Born and raised here?
All my life.
You went to school here?
Yes.
You worship here?
Yep.
Right? You shopped here? And then, now, tell me something about yourself.
I was born and raised on George Street in Norristown.
George Street.
Yeah, which is right
Good.
off of Marshall Street. As you do know, I've made a lot of investment on Marshall Street, opening up a lot of different stores there.
Yeah. That's like nice little diversity, a lot of stores.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Beautiful.
It's really come a long way in the last 15 years. We're very proud of all the accomplishments there.
Yeah.
As you know, my dad was a police officer in Norristown.
I worked with him.
Yeah, you guys worked
Norristown
together.
Police.
And I do have to say, it's pretty cool that, you know, I always looked up to Hank Cisco. You know, we called you to rock, and, you know, you were a police officer, and you're always giving back to the community, and, you know, you did a lot. You really did, and you still do.
My mom says, do good, forget, do bad, regret. So I just do good. People come up to me, oh, Sergeant Cisco, you remember you were a policeman? I don't remember. But thank God that I helped somebody. And don't forget, a lot of people helped me to climb the ladder. So I'm on the ladder looking around. I don't know where I'm going. I'm 93 years old. Oh, my God. Go.
But it's pretty neat to have had a experience with you, you know, as me being a child and looking up to you, and now having an adult relationship with you. And I mean, my respect for you is just unbelievable.
You did a lot for the town. I remember when we did the first walk at Montgomery Hospital, you donated, you know, I think it was $1,000 to get shirts and stuff like that. So you were always helping the community. But, you know, but sometimes the community's sort of a little loose a little bit, so we have to bring it back together again because, you know, when I was a policeman, all the policemen had to live in Norristown, 3 square miles. We lived here, we shopped here, our kids went to school here, you know. So it's a little different now. The police officers don't live in Norristown, and a lot of employees don't live in Norristown. So we have to we should have a training session for all these people that don't live in Norristown, that work in Norristown. But that's just a little story. But actually, we have on the road to victory.
Absolutely.
So this is one road that we want to talk about. You're a big investment here. You invested a lot in Norristown. Tell me about this thing. People are looking at it, they're wondering what it is.
Yeah, well, Hank, I think that Norristown really has a lot of assets to build on. We have the Schuylkill River right there. We have a great zoo. I mean, that zoo has done tremendous things. We also have the walking nature trail, which is very neat. But I think Norristown is really ready to find its way into making a mark and really becoming a place to live, work, and play. This is my latest project here. It's at 221 West Main Street.
That's
which
right
is
above the McDonald's?
right next to McDonald's. It's right off of Markley and Main, yes. I think it's a great location for a project like this. What we're doing is we're going in and we're renovating this building. I don't know if you can zoom in on this picture here, this camera person, but this is what the building is in its current condition, and this is an artist's rendition of what it is going to look like
In other
when we're
words, over here,
complete.
it's going to be apartment houses.
There are going to be 9 apartments, and we're basically gearing up to trying to generate some interest with millennials, younger folks that have college
Yeah.
educations that may work in King of Prussia or in Philadelphia. The real great thing about this location is the transportation hubs. The bus picks up right in front of this building, as well as we have the Markley Street train station, and then we have the big transportation
You
station
got 422?
over on Lafayette
No, 202
and Main Street.
Main Street. But what else? You got the riverfront there. You got the Hawes Avenue. Now
Yeah.
that they have the boats go up and down, you know, it's unbelievable.
There's a
Right.
lot of things for the younger generation to do here. So we see Main Street as being, when I say we, my company DMS Properties, we see this as being a pedestrian corridor, possibly where you don't even need your own car. You can live, play, and work in the same
Yeah.
area. You hop on the train, you're about 30 minutes away from Philadelphia.
You know,
How much easier access can you
you
have
know
than
what?
that?
If I wasn't a big investor, right, I would look at the the Times Herald building. The Times Herald building is empty. That would be a great location for a hotel, a branch of a community college. What you got? So what do you have there? You have on Markley Street, 202, 422. You got the train station gets off right there, you know. We're the county seat. You got the building here, you got a parking lot here, got everything, everything.
Exactly, we have all
So
the
that
assets
would be somebody,
necessary,
no.
yes.
Now, I got $1,000 to invest, if anybody wants to pick up the rest of it, you know. Think about it. You want units in a hotel?
We'll start a GoFundMe page for you, Hank.
But I'm just jumping off. But, you know, look what I got. I got that questions from the audience. That lady with the blue dress up there.
How you doing?
She's a nice looking girl, too. Hey, you ready? Here's the question. You read it.
What are some of the specific successes on Marshall Street? Well, I'd say the biggest one is the fact that 15 years ago, if you were on Marshall Street, you'd see drug activity. A lot of the buildings actually were boarded up, not generating the taxes that they really could have. So what my company, DMS Properties, did is we took a lot of those
What's it-
boards
what's
off
the name of
windows. DMS Properties.
Okay.
That's the initials in my name. And, you know, we took the boards off and we just started making it into a thriving district. And today, I think you got a 5-block corridor that generates a lot of interest for people coming to shop, eat, and live.
And here's that one guy there with a brown jacket.
How you doing, sir?
You know, he got a question, another one, out, nice and loud.
What infrastructure changes are helping development? That's a very good question, sir. The infrastructure in place that's helping development, really, we're on the cusp of the Lafayette Street corridor coming in. And I believe that's going to actually give an exit for the turnpike and bring traffic in through Norristown. So I think that that's going to be a real big deal.
In other words, you better invest now while it's a little cheap.
Oh, it's gonna
But
be-
once-
it's gonna be
soon
hot.
as some big outfit comes in, oh my God, prices go up.
That's why I was a little bit apprehensive about coming on your show, because kind of didn't want to let the cat out of the bag yet until I have
No.
some other investments
No, let
there.
everybody know. In fact, my next guest is going to be talking, another thing about Norristown promoting is our 4th of July parade. We're going to, now I remember when I was with the Norristown Police, a motorcycle policeman, and we had a parade. People came from all over. There was 10 people deep
Rows of
watching
people,
it
yes.
all the way up. It went from East Main Street all the way up to West Norton, you know. And I remember there was 16 or 17 crossing guards, and they're all in uniform, and we're going to march. So the mayor at that time, Bossler, he was a Masonic. He says, I'll get some Masonic horses and the motorcycles. The Masonic are great on parades. So I says, okay. So we usually was the chief of police and usually the crossing guards because we were in uniform, right? So they said, oh no, we got to put the Masonic horses in front. So okay. So we start marching, and next thing you know, we get halfway up there around Main DeKalb Street. The horses start relieving themselves, and we're walking over here, and and we used to call them when I lived on Chestnut Street, we called them road apples. And so we were bobbing and weaving around the boat apples,
Made the
road
parade
apples.
interesting, right? I see another question here that came in from the audience.
Yes.
Why should we
Oh,
support?
that's that guy up in front there.
Why-
Take that jacket off, it's not cold in here.
Why should we support local developers? That's a very good question as well.
That I'd like to know why.
The local developers are actually giving us, these buildings and places to go to. One of the assets that I forgot to talk about is over on DeKalb Street and Swede Street area. You have the theater over there.
What is that, the Arts?
And that's,
You
yeah,
got the
that's
Arts?
the District of the Arts. So we need to support this type of development to really see Norristown make a comeback.
Well, how about your family? Yeah, tell me something about your wife. And I was up there, now you live in Reading now.
I'm up
You had
on
a big investment up there too, right?
Yes, I'm on the outskirts of Reading.
What's your wife's name?
My wife's name is Diane. We
Okay,
have
Diane,
two
why'd you say
grandkids
that?
now, which
And you have a cat and a dog. And
few of each, yes. So it's a house full, for sure.
yeah, I know you invited me up there one time. I was able to go, and with my wife Dolores, and and I remember you had something like a tree or something. All the cats on there,
That is
dogs.
correct, yes.
Oh my God,
We're
It's
big
really
animal
nice,
lovers.
But you're back and forth in Norristown, a
Correct.
couple days a week, whenever, because you got the stuff going on there. So I think that's a very important, So other than that,
Here's a couple more questions here, I think, that just got.
oh
down.
God, but it's a loaded thing. You got questions coming from all over. We got another one. There's one come in here from a TV station. Just come walking in here. She got a question too. All right, here's one question here from that guy up in the balcony up there. That's a question.
I got to tell you, I like this show. I have to interview myself. I have to ask
Yeah,
my own
well,
questions.
will you come over here? Will you think
But, you're loaded with the stories.
my
Okay,
wife
here we
used to
go.
tell me, shut up, you talk too much. How are you going to know anything if I don't talk?
How has our immigrant population helped development? Well, I have to tell you,
Diversity.
they've brought diversity and they've taken risks where I think other folks might not have taken those risks to help us get the boards off the windows. We do have a population
Boards on the
of
windows because they're all
Hispanics.
closed up, right?
Correct. And now there's different shops there, and like you said, it brings the diversity, and it's a very interesting street at this time. I think there's like 12 languages spoke on Marshall Street itself.
Here's one. Why? There's one in the councilman. I was on the.
Okay.
It's a question. Go ahead. Sticking my sticker.
Why do you want to develop in this area? I think
This area is another made in Markley, right?
Yeah, I think getting back to what I was saying earlier, to reiterate on that point, is right at this location, it is so close to mass transportation and King of Prussia. We're a hop, skip, and a jump away from King of Prussia.
Yeah.
So,
we'll
and
draw
it's
some of that back.
Yeah, and it's the gateway to Norristown. And I believe if we can beautify this area here, it will be the impetus for others to do the same thing.
Yeah.
Down Main Street. So
Wow.
it's a street at a time and a block at a time, and then it just grows outward. And I think we can do great things. I think in the next decade or so, Norristown's going to be much like a Phoenix.
Now, what's the time range? What are you talking about?
10 years. Give it a decade. I think we can do it.
Now, when are you going to break?
Oh, when
break
are we
ground?
doing this? We actually have turned our drawings in to the municipality for approval.
And the okay, the borough give you the
I
okay?
got all the approvals needed.
I went
So-
down there.
Yeah, so this
I
is
went
about
down
a
there to see if
partnership.
anybody was going to object, I would twist their arm. No.
This is about a partnership. I mean, the municipality's got to buy into it. They got to help developers do what they need to do, and we got to market the area as such. So I see a lot of good things for Main Street.
You know what's good about growing old? Being 93 years old, I've been around to see some of the things change. Change on Marshall Street. when I went on duty, when we go on duty 4 to 12, 4 o'clock in uniform, we always had our hats on. Very seldom do we take, if we took our hats off for anything, sergeant would say, you're out of uniform. I see a lot of police officers now, they don't wear their hat that much. They got some got their hair nice, some have bald heads or whatever. But
Hey, what's
he
the matter
would-
with bald
yeah.
heads?
But the shopping center on Marshall Street from Markley Street up to Stanbridge, we had to go there from 6 o'clock till 9 o'clock and do traffic. We'd do traffic on the corner of Marshall and George Street. Traffic, pedestrian traffic. And then we had traffic 6 to 9 on Fridays and Saturday nights, 6 to 9, Main and DeKalb, traffic, directing traffic, Main and Swede, Main and Cherry. I mean, people coming from all over. They come from Conshohocken, they come from Collegeville. On the last bus, my father had a shoemaker shop. We all worked in the shoemaker shop. These people used to bring their shoes in, on a Saturday and come back the next Saturday to get them. So Norristown was like, we had everything. And I remember the first Boy Scout Jamboree in Valley Forge. Norristown's known as the gateway to Valley Forge. And we had to coordinate them, and the executives stayed at the Valley Forge Hotel. I mean, we had everything. We had hotels and everything. So now, something like this, like I said, the Times Herald empty, the building is empty. Make a hotel out of it. Make a college. Do something. Don't let it sit there.
I agree 100%. Empty.
Norristown's known as like, one guy quoted, he says, oh, Norristown is like a beggar sitting on top of a pot of gold. We do. Riverfront, 202, 422, Railroad, PW. So all it's a matter of some big guys come in there with some green stuff.
And you raised another good point, too, our close proximity to Valley Forge. Valley Forge, as I understand it, get about 1 million visitors a year.
Yes.
Now, I don't know if that number's accurate, but that's what I've heard.
Well,
if we could
they
just
do.
attract a small percentage of that million over to Main Street for our restaurants and shops, that could do a great deal for us.
Yeah. All right, here's one guy with that brown sweater. He's over there waving to me here. You got the question over here.
He's
What'd
been
he
waving
say?
the whole
Yeah,
time trying
over
to get
there,
our
all right,
attention.
yeah.
I see him.
And we got a new cameraman there. Where'd you get that haircut, Rock? Huh? You better watch you don't get caught in the hair raid.
How can the community support developments in Norristown? That's quite simple, and that is come and frequent the different stores, the restaurants that are in town. It will only make the town stronger for sure. Buy local is what I always say.
What? Now this one here, it's this lady up here. She's a very nice lady. She comes to all my shows. And she said, very nice. What is your vision for Norristown for the next 10 years? What's the vision? What do you think?
In terms of, I mean, to be specific, I'll talk about Main Street. But what I would like to see on Main Street is other
Marshall
developers, and even Marshall. But, right now I kind of got my sights on this project, and I want to see other people get involved. But I could see this being an impetus to others coming in and investing money and doing the same type of thing,
Right.
because it all helps, one another. But I could see us becoming kind of like what Phoenixville did. We kind of had the same kind of
Phoenixville,
demographics. Ambler, they're all doing very
Yeah.
well. So
Westchester.
we gotta do something to
West Country had nothing. But thank God they're moving ahead.
Absolutely.
Great.
But I see great things for Norristown for sure.
Well,
And I'm putting my money where my mouth is.
I
So,
know. You're putting
I have been.
$1.7 million into that project.
Exactly.
My God, that's a hamburger cheesesteak. All right, and now let me tell you about one other thing that's going on in Norristown. Stan Husky, former editor of the Times Herald, he retired, and he is now, I think, has a job like a public relations or something in the zoo. The zoo is unbelievable. It's growing every day. You go out there, buses, cars, coming from all over. Now, I'm the founder of the Columbus Monument on right there in the park, Elmwood Park. And so, we did a lot. People contributed and helped and everything, but people moved away, people died. So it's, I'm bobbing and weaving, trying to keep it going. So now, St. Anthony called me, yo, Hank, Stan Husky's going to help you. So Stan Husky got Pat Mascara, who is, has a trash
Hall,
business
yeah.
and all. I don't know if you use the word trash, but that's what it is.
Rubbish.
Rubbish, whatever. So he is going to help, and he has been helping. He has like on Columbus Day, he has a big luncheon. We have a speaker at Columbus. But now the zoo wants to merge and volunteer to help maintain
That's
it.
awesome.
We're going to have, Pat is going to do it, some technology about when you go in there, you go like you're in the Franklin Institute, you push a button, and so it's good. So I'm saying the Borough Council got to open their ears and open their eyes and look and see what's going on. You got people want to do something, So this is part of it, and it's already moving,
But Stan Husky's great for our community,
so
and
he's,
Alzone has done.
the newspapers are hurting right now.
Absolutely.
But it's good that he lands on his feet, and we got some other good reporters, Gary Paleo, and you got the Oscar Gamble, So it's keeping the thing going. So that's the things that people don't know, and I'm glad that I'm having this show here to be able to let people know what's going on. All right? So, now, how did you get involved in this?
In the real estate aspect?
Yeah.
I actually was, like I said, I was born and raised right off of Marshall Street. And one day I was buying some residential properties and renting them out. And one day I was thinking, wow, wouldn't it be cool to just buy a store here and help fix this area up? And one store left into two, into three, into now a few dozen. So it's got me invigorated. I love doing this. I love development.
All right. Here's one from way up in the top balcony. The top balcony.
They're way up there, huh?
Now this one, Rock, this is a tough one. What is the most challenging part of being a developer?
There are a lot of challenges, and I think getting others to buy in on a project, and when I say buy in, I say become a partner in that project and realize that it is going to help the community in the future. It seems like everybody likes looking at something in a negative way, and they try to pull the negatives out of it, and they don't just look at it as, wow, this is good for everybody as a whole. And that's probably the saddest, commentary I could talk about. But the fact of the matter is there's other communities out there that are already doing well, such as Phoenixville. And, Norristown's a business also, and they have to realize that developers can go anywhere they want. So I could take that 1.7 million to a location in Phoenixville and help them. So I think when you start getting some resistance here and there, it definitely slows you down a bit and gets you, thinking about maybe doing something in other areas. But, since I was born and raised in Norristown, I'm not quitting anytime soon.
Now,
and
I have 3 daughters, okay? And you went to school
went to
with
school
one
in
of them,
Mary,
right?
yes.
Mary?
We graduated from this school in
What school?
1980, Norristown High.
Norristown High School.
Yeah.
That's where we're at. That's where we're at.
Exactly.
Norristown High School, you're right.
Walking through the halls is somewhat eerie.
Was Mary a...
Oh, yeah, just
she's
like
a-
her dad. Yeah,
She's my hit girl.
absolutely. She's tough.
Yeah, and I have my other 2 daughters, Carol and
Joanne.
Joanne, and then my son is down in Peru, and he's doing missionary work down there. So everything is, I've been very fortunate to be able to, like yesterday, I was invited with Esther Ponick and Dan Valoric down to the Bellevue
Stratford.
Oh my God! And they honoring police officers and all. And I was very surprised that someone I met I met the chief of police from Boston.
Wow.
And boy, and he was a nice guy. And I told him that I was a stablemate of Rocky Marciano in Boston, you know, and so we posed like boxing and all. And Walt Hunter, who was with the TV station, I think he's going to go into another career or something. I said he's going to come on my show at a later time. But it was nice, you seeing these people that worked hard for the community, you know, and they jumped to another career.
I have a question to ask you. I see all these pictures. You're with some amazing people.
Oh, over here.
Frank Rizzo and
Yeah.
Rudy Giuliani. But I see you jumping a rope there. Can you still do that?
Oh, no, I was skipping rope. When I was boxing for a fight in New York, when I was going to box, after I got out of the service, I said, if I want to be a boxer, I want to have the best manager. Because you don't have a good manager and a good trainer, forget about it. So I did. So I got Al Wheel, who was a manager of Rocky Marciano. And so I went to New York, and he tried me out, and he said, okay. He liked the way I moved around and all, so he got me a couple fights. I fought in Newark, New Jersey, fought in a couple other places. But every once in a while, I hit a guy on the head, over here, dislocated, broken over here, broken rib. I win the fight, but so the doctor says, Cisco, get out of that business because your bones are brittle. So I became a boxing referee.
Okay.
I refereed Joe Frazier's second pro fight. I was refereeing a fight in Philadelphia, and Muhammad Ali come in the ring and grabbed the mic, and commissioner told me to throw him out. So I met a lot of people in different ways. And I know you came to the fights with me, you know.
I've seen you hit the speed
Yeah.
bag before, and you're still pretty good with that.
And then the other day, Frank Gelb, who was the manager of the three tenors, and now Andre Pacelli, you know, I says, we worked together. I went to South America to referee a fight. So he's his manager. I says, Frank, when he comes to Philadelphia, can I meet him? He says, no problem. So we did. He got me tickets, sitting in the third row, singing the Wells Fargo. After the show, we went into the dressing room. His wife was there. He's blind. So I give him a little Italian flag, an American flag. I says, Andre, why don't you sing a little Italian Sicilian song? He says, what is it? Hey, goodbye. Wilson. So that was a great thing.
You had another question just dropped.
Right.
On
Another
you.
question there. All right. How can people hear more about your project? Well, I invited a TV station, the WHYY, to come over. Maybe you'll be a little expanding here. And so this is from that one guy over on the right-hand side there. Oh, right.
Also, we do have a website, dmsproperties.com. So the project's going to be on there, and we're going to be showing the different stages we're going through on that website.
Right. Well, what else? All right, now, I got the single. 30 seconds. Tell me how can we help you?
Just by helping get the word out and just letting people know Norristown's a great town, and it's definitely on its way back, and there's some great investment opportunities there for developers.
And then it's located right off of Main and Markley, across from the gas station, up from McDonald's at Main and Markley
Yes.
Street, right? And right around the corner from the building of the Times Herald, who someday, if you got any money, make a hotel out of it, and I'll move in. I'm an old 93 old man, you know. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for allowing us to come into your home. I got my cameraman there. He's smiling. He's ready to go to bed. So, until we meet again, keep bobbing and weaving, left hand high, stick and move, and keep your chunks off the canvas. And may God bless each and every one of you. Adios, amigos, to my Hispanic friends.
Thank
Goodbye.
you so much for having me on the show.
Okay, Rock, let's have a little bit there.
What's in here?
This is water.
Salute.
Salute. Salute means to your health.